Imogene Pass is a beautiful bucket list trail. Ties in real nice with Black Bear Pass. We actually started the morning in Ouray, Colorado. Took Black Bear Pass over to Telluride. Great little spot to have lunch, do some shopping, have a beer, but not too many because Imogene is a lot of shelf roads and cliffs. So while we're taking the pass from Telluride over to Ouray, it's important to remember that people can take the pass from Ouray to Telluride, which means that this little narrow road here is actually a two-way road. It's hard to imagine the miners had to go down these roads with horse-drawn carts and carriages, and that's how they got the gold down to the town and put it in the banks, where Butch Cassidy actually robbed his very first bank in Telluride, Colorado. But during the winter, this was the only way to get down to town and get supplies. So as you drive along the road here, this is where you need to keep an eye out for turnouts like this one here. Just in case you come across somebody going the other direction, you know how far you have to back up. What we're seeing here is something really cool. It's called the Social Tunnel. I'll explain just a little bit why it was given that name, but it was in the late 1800s, and I've seen pictures of horse-drawn wagons going through this same tunnel. What we're coming up on here are the ruins of the Smuggler Union Mine. It was one of the biggest gold producers in the area. What it's mostly known for is a large labor management dispute they had going on that turned violent, and they actually at one point installed a large machine gun up at the top of Imogene Pass to keep some of the labor reinforcement from getting through the pass and to help out the miners. Some of these old bridges look a little sketchy, just basically some boards laid across an opening. Off to the right here, what we're seeing are the remains of the largest mine in the area. It was the Tomboy Mine, started in the late 1800s and went through about 1928. It had several hundred people living there at one point. They actually had their own bowling alley. They had a YMCA. They did not have a post office though, but they are the ones who gave the name Social Tunnel to the cave we saw back there, the tunnel we saw back earlier. Apparently, ladies of the evening were not allowed to visit the mine encampment, so the miners would head down to the Social Tunnel and get social. the things that we found on all these trails we were visiting is that there's always two ways you can go. There's the easy way and there's the hard way. And we tend to like taking the challenging route. This particular little obstacle was a lot tougher than it looks in the video. We weren't sure we were going to make it up, but we did. So this was another easy way or hard way decision, and we actually backed up a little bit here and decided to go over to the right because it looked like a lot more fun. Easy path here is to the left. That's the normal road over the pass, but of course we decided to go to the right, a lot of loose gravel, a lot of loose dirt, and our engine was actually really starting to struggle at this point as we got higher and higher up on the pass. Our Jeep is not set up for that. We have gears that are called 321 gears, which basically means they have a lot harder time pushing our big heavy tires when you get into situations like this. We were really struggling to keep gaining altitude at one point. But eventually we could see the sign for the pass. We made it up to the top, up to the crest, over 13,000 feet high. And instead of just posing for our obligatory picture next to the sign, we decided to explore a little further, kind of off the trail here and see where it would take us. We actually made it quite a ways out in this little area with drop-offs on both sides, but it was fun. This bit was a little scary. We were kind of hoping that it didn't just drop off over on the other side when we got up over the top of that little ridge. The way back to the trail was kind of fun because I knew we weren't going to go over the edge of any unknown cliffs, so we were able to pick up a little bit of speed and have a fun time making it back to the sign for our picture. So this starts the descent down into Ouray, Colorado. Luckily we weren't here about a week earlier when the snow came down. I don't think I'd want to be on these shelf roads when they're all slippery with snow falling. So the ride down into Ouray was beautiful as well, maybe not quite as stunning as on the way up to the pass out of Telluride. If any of you ever find yourselves out near Telluride or Ouray, rent a Jeep, do this trail. It's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience, though we do plan to do it a couple more times in our lifetime, but it's something that you should absolutely do if you find yourself in the area.